So this video recording is going to be about Notability app on iOS. And what Notability is, it's very like academic based. It's basically for note taking, but it's really advanced in handwriting features. And if you want to import other files into it, like PDFs and that, you can do really lovely things in there. So without further ado, let me show you. So right now we're going to create a new note, and at the top right here, that's where we want to go. Sorry, I'm in editing mode. Okay, there we go. So yeah, so right at the top right, we're going to do the compose button. Now, as you can see at the top left right there, it says the title of the note, the date of creation, and last modified. So that can automatically be adjusted, whether to turn that on or off. And as you'll see later, when we start actually typing in this note, the font size is like 12 point. It's very small, but that can, through the Notability settings, can be automatically set to a much larger size if you want, like a 52 point and larger, for people who find it easier to see the larger text by default. So right there at the top, we have a few options. Top center, I'm just going to use the built-in zoom here. We have the text tool that'll pop up the keyboard. We have the pencil tool, and if you tap and hold on that, you can choose from many colors and widths. Widths is important because it depends what kind of whether PDF annotation or note taking you're doing, or drawing diagrams and whatnot. You will want to adjust the widths. Okay. And then you have a highlighter. Again, you can tap and hold on that and get some more options for colors. You have an eraser, you have a cutting tool, and then they added a hand gesture, so you can just scroll with one finger if you want, if you just want to view your notes. So at the bottom right corner of the screen, we have two options. We have a magnifying glass there, which I'll show you in a second, and then we have a palm guard action. So we're just going to tap the magnifying glass. Okay, and by default, as you see, there are lines, and on this note, I believe that can be adjusted as well. But in this magnifier setting, you do have this little glass here that will move stuff. So, for example, I will write something here. Forgive my writing. I'm doing this behind the screen, so it's hard. This is a testing, and as soon as you hit the screen area, it will automatically advance. There are manual advances if you want to turn that auto pushing off. Okay, test. What I'm going to be writing is going to be a whole bunch of gibberish. I just want you to see how the actual flow is in that. So, of course, if you have a stylus, you could be much better writing as well. And we're almost 3/4 there, and as we approach the end of the line, you'll see what happens. It'll automatically advance to the next line. We're almost there. If I was writing properly in the lines, it'd be a lot better, but So again, if you make a mistake in that, you can always use the eraser tool. But anyways, you get the idea, right? Where it automatically advances you in that, so you can view your overall writing zoomed out. And if you want, you can always take that magnifying glass, and I'm adjusting the size, I think. Yes, I am. So you can adjust the size, but you can also take it and move it around. That way you can move it wherever you want on your notes. So we're just going to turn this feature off. So that's one way how to zoom in. The other way is just simply to pinch and zoom. And you can continue writing with just the pinch and zoom if you want. So, and then of course you have the text typing tool, so we can tap on the T above there. So it's just telling me to tap anywhere on the screen and it will start typing for me, like on that line. So, okay. This is a testing in Notability to see how well the dictation tool will write for me, period. So as you see, it's very, very small font. So like I said, automatically you can adjust that in the Notability settings in the main menu to make it like big font if you want. But of course, you can always pinch to zoom in. Just remember to use 2 fingers to scroll, because wherever you tap, it's going to start wanting to write, because that's the command you're in. Okay, dictation tool, look, looks pretty good. Okay. So that's one way how to use Notability. Like I said, you can always take a picture and import, of a worksheet and do stuff like that. So to get back, I just pressed the little back button at the top left to get back to your main documents. So the second part of this video, I would like to show you how to do PDF annotation. And this would be good if you were to have a whether maybe it's a worksheet for phys ed you need to fill out of how many hours you spent exercising, or perhaps it's to do with maybe English or math, like a worksheet in general to fill in the blanks or lines and that. So I'm just going to switch over to my Pages app. Somewhere I have it. That's it. And this is just a timesheet I have here. So this could be, for a math example. And normally you would receive a PDF through email in most situations, or Dropbox or wherever, right? And you would just simply tap on the PDF, it would download, and you could tell it where you want it to open, in which case you would choose Notability. So I'm just going to tap to save as a PDF. So this is the point in Mail or wherever you would tap Open, and it would ask you, these are all the apps that are compatible with PDF documents. So I'm going to tap Notability. And Notability asks you, as you see, how you want to import that document, whether you want to create a new note, so it's just that PDF alone, or if you want to add it to another note, an existing note. So for an example, if it's just a worksheet alone, perhaps you just want to create a new note, which is what we're going to do in a second. But if you want to add it to an existing note, for an example, it could be you were writing notes, handwriting or typing in, and then there's a worksheet that went along with those notes, like a math worksheet, right? So you know how to do that worksheet. So then you could say, okay, I'll take a picture of the math worksheet, and or if it's sent via PDF or whatever, right? It's on digital, and you can add it to your notes. So yeah, it's really neat. But anyway, so you want to create a new document. I'm just going to zoom out. Okay. And so as you see, we're still in the typing tool, but what we're going to do is we're going to tap the pencil. We're going to take 2 fingers to scroll, of course. And then I'm just going to use the pinch to zoom in feature, because that just seems the easiest. We're going to write in, okay, so let's say I worked on May the 6th. Okay. And then, you would write down the number of hours. But let's say that, actually that's kind of too thick. I want something that's more matching to that, right? Something more thinner. So I'm just going to tap the undo button, because it is a tad too thick for me. Okay, and at the top where that pencil tool is, I'm just going to tap again, and there she comes up. So that's right there. I want to go one bit smaller there. There we go. Okay, tap out of it, and now let's write it in. Oh, that's a little better. Okay, right? So there's an example, and then once you have everything here, right? Then you can save it as email it or export as a PDF, etc., etc. So one last thing I would really like to show you about Notability is this is where it really shines. And if you're going to, Notability has the option to import PDF documents, and that would be really good for maybe, let's say you have a worksheet and you're handed out in class, and so you can take a picture of it if you want. Let's see what we have here. So there's import from photos from a photo app. You can take the photo itself within this app, and you can do a web clip and like a whole bunch of things. So why don't we take a photo and we'll see where we'll get here. So bring some text here, and okay, this is good. So this is just a table of contents, it looks like, of a book. So what I'm going to do is just take a picture of this. I'm just going to hold it over just for a few seconds, maybe even tap on a piece of text so it can focus in on it, and then I'm going to take the picture. So Notability, what it does, it gives you the whole screen, which is lovely, right? Because I know in older versions it gave you just a little box, but this one gives you the full screen, so that's really nice. So now what we're going to do, I'm just going to tilt this like that. So yeah, it depends which way you take the picture, I guess, as you can see, right? So I'm just going to zoom in here so I can see what's happening. So you can say use photo, or on the other side you can retake or cancel it. So use photo. And then with this, you can drag it where you want it. So you can, let's say, put it in here, because let's say this was a diagram of some sort, for example, okay? And you can grab the little handles on the corners and make it larger. And when you're done, you can just tap off of it, and then you can use your let's switch back to the hand tool, the pencil tool. Okay, so then when you're done, you should be able to pinch to zoom in, and it depends how large you stretch the photo, of course, right? And you should be able to write right on top of this if you want. So if you had to fill in the blank, right, you can fill in like the answer is true, for example, So anyways, this has been a very short introduction of Notability.